Hi everyone and welcome back to GK Today. I am Sian. Very good morning. Here we are discussing the most important current affairs of 22 July 2025. But first let us recall the last current affairs and they are. Ocean Tracker app was launched by which ministry? So this app was launched in 2021 by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. The next is Central Adoption Resource Authority is a statutory body that functions under which ministry? So basically it functions under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. A major adoption authority from India and basically the recent cabinet minister that is Sri Annapurna Devi. Next is a term that is protostar. So it was recently seen in news and basically it stands for an early stage in star formation or you can say a baby star, the protostar. Moving on, the next one, Trade Connect platform is an initiative of which ministry? So, recent e-platform that is developed by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And please note, it is to boost the trade between the exporters of India and the other international partners. The next is which country virtually hosted the 4th BIMSTEC Disaster Management Exercise 2025. So, it is by India and hosted virtually. The next is Mount Kilimanjaro that was recently seen in news is located in which country? So we are discussing Africa's tallest mountain and that is Kilimanjaro located in the Tanzania country of Africa and the second largest is Mount Kenya located in the Kenya. The next question, which initiative of Kerala was recently recognized by the UNICEF as a global best practice and responsible educational technology and that initiative is KITE, stands for Kerala Infrastructure and Technology for Education and recently recognized by the UNICEF. The next question, what type of missiles are Agni and Prithvi which were recently successfully test fired at Chandipur, Odisha and basically it is option number D, short range ballistic missile, they are Agni and Prithvi and it is a part of integrated missile development program that is initiated in 1983. The next question, economic census in India is conducted by which ministry? And that is option number C, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. The next question, Reykjanes Peninsula that was recently seen in news is located in which country? And that country is option number B, Iceland. So it's a part of Iceland and just because of recent eruption, it was in news. Back to the session. So we are discussing National Standard for Civil Service Training Institute 2.0 framework and India's international movement to United Nations Conference, Youth Spiritual Summit, and recently athletic meet that was hosted by which Indian state we will discuss. Indian Astronomical Observatory was in news and INS and Dhayak and a nodal authority for Molana Azad National Fellowship Scheme we will discuss. A recent milk subsidy scheme from a state and Kutir Jyoti scheme and in place in news category we will discuss Vitra Island. Here we go with the first one. So the question is Indian Astronomical Observatory that was recently seen in news is located in which state or UT? So basically the answer is option number C, Ladakh. It is located in Ladakh and exactly in Hanle of Ladakh. So recently Indian astronomers photographed interstellar comet C2025 N1 Atlas, also called 3I Atlas, using the Himalayan Chandra telescope in Hanle, Ladakh, and that's why this question was in news. So recently, NASA funded project and that is Atlas project, and through this project, the Chile-based observatory recently discovered the oldest interstellar comet, and its name is 3I Atlas. And here I stand for interstellar comet. And basically, last we discussed, its orbit is hyperbolic. And recently, just because of photography, it was in news. Please note, here we are discussing the Indian Astronomical Observatory. It is one of the highest situated observatory in the world, approximately 4,500 meters above sea level. Inaugurated in 2001 and managed by the Indian Institute of Astrophysics and basically their managing office and it is located in the Bangalore. And just because of recent photography of the interstellar comet, it was in news. Here we are discussing the Atlas project. Basically, it was funded by the NASA and its managing institute is University of Hawaii. And exactly the Atlas project, it stands for Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. And recently with this project, the scientists, the astronomers of the Chile-based observatory recently discovered the interstellar AI comet. Overall, the purpose of Atlas project and that is to detect early warning for asteroid impacts, also detect the other planets, black hole events, supernova and asteroids from the space. Overall here, 4 major telescopes and they are related with the Atlas project. Exactly 2 of them is located in Hawaii Island and the name is Helikela in Hawaii. Second one is Mauna Loa in Hawaii The third one is Sutherland Observatory located in South Africa. And the last one is Alsace Observatory located in Chile. These are the four major telescopes that functions under the Atlas project. And recently, with the use of Alsace Observatory based in Chile, the astronomers detected the interstellar 3I Atlas comet, and it is one of the oldest comet. Overall, here we are discussing the term, and that is comet. Basically, what is the origination point of comet? Please note it is Kuiper belt or Oort cloud. And here comets are divided in three major categories, and they are the short period comet, the long period comet, and the interstellar comet. Here interstellar comet, they come from outside our solar system, and exactly the origin point of these comet, the Oort cloud and the Kuiper belt. And just because of recent discovery and recent pictures by the Indian astronomer, the Indian Astronomical Observatory was in news. Moving on, here we are discussing some other question that is related with the observatories and the hour. Whereas the Rubin Observatory is located in which country? So basically it's a part of Chile. And Kodaikanal Solar Observatory is located in which state? And that is Tamil Nadu. Which space observatory was recently used by Russian astronomers to detect the 11 new AGNs, and that is active galactic nuclei, and that is Spectre RG. The Chandra X-ray Observatory is a space telescope of which is space organization, that is NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration. And also Kodaikanal, it is from Tamil Nadu. The Chandra X-ray, basically it is by the NASA. Moving on, the next one. Here we are discussing a major framework, and that is 2.0 version of it, and that is National Standards for Civil Service Training Institute 2.0 framework, and recently it was developed by which government body? So basically that is option number A, Capacity Building Commission, the CBC. So recently the Union Minister, that is Dr. Jitendra Singh, launched the National Standard for Civil Services Training Institute 2.0 in Delhi at Civil Services Office Institute. Basically, it was developed by the Capacity Building Commission to create a future-ready civil service. Here, the NSC STI 2.0, it aligns with the Modi government's vision of using public-private practices. Overall, it reduces criteria, the checking criteria from 59 to 43 for more focused outcome. So here we are discussing the Capacity Building Commission, one of the major initiative of Capacity Building Commission, and that is the mission Karma Yogi. And in which year was the Capacity Building Commission established? And that is 2021. And the mission that functions under the Capacity Building Commission, that is mission Karma Yogi. And also the chairperson of the Capacity Building Commission, that is also important, and his name is Adil Jainul Bhai, the recent chairman of the Capacity Building Commission. Overall, the main goal of the Capacity Building Commission in India to transform public administration and basically to enhance training infrastructure for civil servants and to foster a learning culture in governance and advises on capacity building. Overall, it collaborates with national and international stakeholders to promote effective public service delivery. And recently, they developed a 2.0 framework, and that is National Standard for Civil Service Training Institute to enhance the civil services training process. Moving on, here we are discussing the next one, that is, where was India's International Movement to United Nations Conference 2025 held? So here we are discussing a major conference that was recently hosted by India, and exactly in Noida. Answer is option number C. So the event focused on empowering youth to lead the vision of Viksit Bharat, that is developed India, and the target year is by 2047. And please note the vision, it aligns with the Panch Pran 5 pledges for Amrit Kal announced on Independence Day 2022. And here the 5 pledges include the developing India, removing colonial mindset, taking pride in heritage, strengthening unity, and as last one, fulfilling collective responsibility. So please note the Panch Pran, or you can say 5 pledges, and it is related with the Amrit Kal of India that was announced by the PM Modi on 15th of August 2022. And there are 5 key responsibilities for nation building. Already we discussed developing India, removing colonial mindset, taking pride in heritage, strengthening unity, and fulfilling collective responsibility. Also, here we are discussing a term that is Saptarishi, or you can say 7 priorities, and it is related with the Amrit Kal. So in 2023, PM Modi and the Minister of Finance, that is Nirmala Sitharaman, they launched the Amrit Kal Budget 23. And Saptrishi or seven priorities, it is related with the Amrit Kal Budget 2023 that is presented in the Union Budget 23-24. And there are seven guiding priorities for economic and national growth under the Saptrishi. And that is also important. The first priority, inclusive development. The second one is reaching the last mile. The third one is infrastructure and investment. The fourth one is unleashing the potential, just like skill development and other reforms, and green growth and the youth empowerment. Or the last one is financial sector. So please note, these are the seven priorities that was the part of the Saptarishi of Amrit Kal Budget 23-24 initiated by the Nirmala Sitharaman and aligns with the goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Overall, here we discussed two major terms that stands for Panch Pran or five pledges, and the five pledges are mentioned, and the second one is Saptarishi or seven priorities, and the seven priorities are mentioned, right? Moving on, here we are discussing the next question, an Indian vessel, and that is what kind of vessel is INS Dhayak that was recently mentioned in news. So here we are discussing Indian Navy's INS Dhayak, and basically it is a hydrographic survey ship, and recently it made its port call at a port, and that is Port Klang, located in Malaysia for hydrographic cooperation. Here the INS Dhayak is the first indigenously designed and built Sandhaya class hydrographic survey ship. It was commissioned in Feb 2024 and the ship was built by the GRSE, that stands for Garden Ridge Shipbuilders and Engineers, based in Kolkata. Please note, two major ship assembly line of GRSE that is located in Kolkata and the other one is located in Ranchi. And recently it made its first port call at the Port Klang of Malaysia, and that's why INS Dhayak it was in news. Moving on, here we are discussing a major summit, and that is Youth Spiritual Summit. And where was the Youth Spiritual Summit? Recently organized, and that is option number A, Varanasi. So recently the Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, and that is Sarvanand Sonowal, he inaugurated the Youth Spiritual Summit in the Varanasi, and the summit was held at the Rudraksh International Convention Center. Here the summit's theme, and that was Nasha Mukt Yuva for Viksit Bharat, and it focused on creating a drug-free youth for a developed India. Also, the event concluded with the Kashi Declaration, one of the major decision of this summit, and that is the Kashi Declaration. Please note, Kashi Declaration, it is associated with the recent held Youth Spiritual Summit by the Sarvanand Sonowal. So he announced the Kashi Declaration and also a path, and that is the Kashi Sankalp Patra, outlining a national campaign for youth de-addiction. So basically it is to guide the youth towards youth de-addiction from the drugs, and that's why the main goal of Youth Spiritual Summit to eliminate the drugs from India. Moving on, the next one, here we are discussing a major sport event, and that is Indian Open Athletic Meet 2025, and which state is the host of this event, and that is Bihar. Please note, it is the first national athletic meet in 2025 and the host state, and that is Bihar. So Bihar hosted the first ever Indian Open Athletic Meet 2025 at Patliputra Sport Complex based in Patna. And this is the first time Bihar has hosted such a major national athletic event. And the meet, it was organized by the Athletic Federation of India in collaboration with Bihar State Sports Authority, and more than 4,000 athletes from across India participated in the one-day event. So it was a one-day event organized by the AFI and the Bihar Sports Authority, the Indian Open Athletic Meet. Moving on, here we are discussing a major fellowship scheme, and that is Molana Azad National Fellowship. You can say MANF. So which ministry is the nodal authority for this fellowship scheme? And that is option number C, Ministry of Minority Affairs. And the recent cabinet Minister of Minority Affairs, and that is the Kiran Rijiju, and he is also handling the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. So recently the Ministry of Minority Affairs released pending payments under the Molana Azad National Fellowship, and this scheme was introduced in the year 2009 to boost financial aid for the tribal communities or minority communities basically. So after a delay of 7 months, finally they released the payment. So MENF is a 5-year fellowship providing financial aid to 6 notified minority communities, and basically the 6 major minority community in India, and they are the Muslims, Buddhists, Christian, Jains, Parsis, and the Sikhs. Overall, it supports students who are doing their regular and full-time Master of Philosophy and PhD courses within India. So the nodal ministry is the Ministry of Minority Affairs, and the implementing agency, and that is University Grant Commission for Molana Azad National Fellowship. Overall, which government body implements the MENF scheme in India, and that is UGC. How many notified minority communities are covered under this MENF scheme, and they are the 6. And the last implementing year of MENF, and that is 2009. Moving on, here we are discussing the major place in news category, that is Vitra Island, and it was recently seen in news, and it is located in which state or UT, and that is option number A, Lakshadweep. So recently, a major decision from the Lakshadweep administration, basically they are considering to acquire Vitra Island for defense purpose, and that's why it was in news. India is planning for a major defense base, and that is on Vitra Island, which is a part of Lakshadweep Island. Basically here the Lakshadweep is a group of island, it is called the Lakshadweep archipelago, and Vitra is the smallest inhabited island in the Lakshadweep archipelago. It lies in the northern part of Lakshadweep, and overall it is a major pilgrimage site because it houses a shrine of Malik Mola, who is an old Arab Sant. Overall, just because of a new defense base, the Vitra Island was in news. Moving on, here we are discussing the last question of the day, and that is, which state government has launched a milk subsidy scheme in July 2025 to support dairy farmers with ₹5 per litre of milk. So milk subsidy scheme, and it is recently initiated by the Assam government. So recently, the Assam government launched a milk subsidy scheme to support dairy farmers with ₹5 per litre of milk. And this initiative recently launched by the CM of Assam, and that is Hemant Biswa Sarma, to boost milk production and to increase the farmer income in rural areas. And during the launch of this milk subsidy scheme, he also expanded the West Assam Milk Producer Cooperation Union Limited, called Vamul plant. So Vamul plant, it is located at Guwahati in Assam, and recently extended under the milk subsidy scheme by the CM of Hemant Biswa Sarma. So milk subsidy scheme with ₹5 per litre of milk, it is associated with the Assam government. Moving on, here we are discussing the quiz of the day, and it is associated with the topic, that is a scheme in news, that you have to mention in the comment box. And thank you for watching. For more information, you can check the description box just below the video.